Hi, welcome. I am Miss Kenny. Welcome to Integrated Math 2 Semester 1. I'm happy you're in my class. I'm sorry this is way you're going to hear me lecture, but until we get back into the classroom, we'll hold Zoom meetings, we'll meet, I'll tutor, we'll have tutoring sessions. And then, of course, these videos are for you to work at your own pace, pause, come back to it. Make sure you use highlighters. You can then pause it, send a photo through Remind to ask me for clarification. So this is just better than me just teaching through Zoom. Okay, so the first lecture is just on the first part of foundational skills. So it's on the 4 basic operations. So adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. I know it's super elementary. You've been adding since first grade. But there are many errors, and so I figured let's just go through foundational skills for this first module, even though we're going to go ahead and cover systems, which is systems of equations, which is actually the first module for Integrated Math 2, just so you can get used to my voice, get used to my writing, get used to the YouTube videos, and then that way you just acclimate to this virtual learning online class better. Okay? All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to switch the count. Oh, so this is my classroom, although we'll meet today, but let me just kind of switch. I'm a Dodger fan, LA girl, woo. Okay, yeah, let me just, it needs to get cleaned a bit, but anyways. All right, here we go. Let's switch this. I'm glad. Okay, here we go. Okay, 4 basic operations. Here are the symbols, the names of the operations, the words used. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That would just be the fraction bar. It's not a subtraction, that's the fraction bar, right, for the calculator. And I'm gonna also show you on the calculator. So even though this video is gonna probably be like about 10 or 12 minutes, it's just to go over the super basics. So here we go. Okay, words used, add, sum is your answer, right? So what is a sum? I'm asking you to add 2 values together. Plus, increase, total. Okay, subtraction, the difference is what you would call the answer. So once you subtract, that's the answer, difference. Take away, deduct. Multiplication, you guys know product. Product is the name of the answer. Division, that would be quotient, right? Goes into how many times. Okay, here we go. So now, these are notes. Okay, so typically on these notes, I would write as I go. So I would have a skeleton, and normally I would move the camera over the skeleton of the sheet of paper, and then I would solve it. But seeing that this math is super elementary, most of them are solved, okay? All right, so here's your first operation is addition. So for instance, example 5 plus 3, super easy, 8, so the sum is 8, correct? If say you have a parenthesis, so -5 plus, and then value -3, you guys know that when you multiply a positive times a negative, right, gives you a negative. So this -5 plus parenthesis -3 is equivalent to -5 minus 3, right, because that positive negative is -3. Okay, so then my answer would be -8, right? 5 is negative. 3 is negative. So because the 2 values are negative, you add and keep the sign, right? So the sum is -8. Okay, so here's the rule. So the values are the numbers, right? So in this case, -5, -3, +5, +3. If the numbers are the same, so signs like +3, +8, or -5, -3. Here we get +8, here we get -8. Then you add the values and keep the sign. So because they're both positive, my sum is positive. These 2 numbers, right, their 2 values are negative, so my sum is negative. So that's what it means by keep the sign. Okay, another example, 17 plus 2, the sum is 19. -17 plus a -2, right? A positive times a negative is a negative. So -17, -2, my sum is -19. Okay, so then there's just 4 problems that you're going to do per operation. Since there's 4 operations, of 4 problems each, 16. So you're going to have a total of 16 problems in this assignment. Okay, so you are going to complete, so find the sum of 11 plus 6, negative 2 plus negative 4, negative 8 minus 13, and negative 15 minus 1. So you're going to give me these answers, okay? All right, now really quick, the calculator. Had we been in the classroom, this is the calculator I would have a class set of. I would have more than enough for the kids that didn't have a calculator. You would use it, tests, quizzes. This calculator is amazing. It's anywhere from, I don't know, like $12 to $15, depending on tax. But it's the FX 300 ES Plus Casio. This calculator is amazing. This is in black. They have them in pink. They have them in other colors. If you want to purchase it, you can. If you already have one, super. Okay, the reason why we love it so much is because it has this fraction button, this right here. Yes, it still has the trig, right? We'll use this in about a month. It has this fraction button, and then it also has this SD. So you can go from scientific to decimal notation of your answer on how you express your answer. And these two are my amazing buttons. I love them. And that's why our school purchases this calculator as a class set for us teachers. Okay, so this calculator is great. All right, so anyways, and it's pretty inexpensive. Okay, 12 bucks. All right, so here we go. So, again, there's no shame in using a calculator ever. So, for instance, 17 plus 2, you know how to type that, right? 17 plus 2. Right, here's my 17 plus 2. You'd hit the equal sign, and voila, there's 19. You already knew that. Okay, as far as your negatives, right, like negative 17 plus negative 2, how do I type that? What you see is what you type. So my negative button is this right here. So negative, if you put the subtraction button, you'll get an error. Okay, negative 17 plus parenthesis, negative, right? Negative, not subtraction, negative 2, close the parentheses, right? These are your parentheses. So negative 17 plus negative 2, hit that equal sign, and there is my negative 19. So I've always encouraged every single day, every single lecture, students grab the calculators. I'll even pause during the lesson and I'll have the kids go grab them. You want to build your confidence. You want your confirmation in your answers. Okay, so that's why we're doing just kind of a basic lecture, because you understand this math, so I'm able to go through basics. Okay, all right, next operation, subtraction. So here your example would be 5 plus the value of negative 3. Again, you have parentheses. Remember, a positive times a negative is a negative. So 5 minus 3. So my 5 is positive. My 3 is negative. So what do? The rule is if the numbers have opposite signs, meaning one is positive and one is negative, so what do? You're going to subtract the values, and the difference, which is your answer, right? Remember, that's a subtraction answer, difference, is the sign of the bigger number or the bigger value. Okay, what does that mean? So I got 5, I got 3, so subtract it. 5 and 3 give me 2. That 2 looks really small for some reason. 2, okay, so now which value's larger? 5 is bigger than 3. 5 is positive. So my answer, my difference, is positive 2. So the sum is positive because 5 is positive. So my answer is positive. Okay, so let's do another example. 6 plus negative 11. Okay, I got a positive, I got a negative. So 6 minus 11. 11's the bigger number. So that means my answer is going to be that sign, which is negative. So what's 6 minus 11? Negative 5. You could also grab a calculator and you can type either one, right? You could type in, I'm trying to show this, 6 plus negative 11, right? So there's my 6 plus negative 11. Remember, what you see is what you type. And so my answer is negative 5. So the calculator knows the rules. But again, this is arithmetic, so you should be able to do it as well. Or you can just type in 6 subtraction 11 and you get negative 5. Okay. Negative 81 plus 3. Again, 81 is negative. 3 is positive. They have opposite signs. So subtract what's 81, take away 3, 78. Which number's bigger? 81, so it's negative. So my answer is negative, my difference. So my difference is negative 78. Okay, you're gonna complete these 4 problems. So question 5 is negative 56 plus 4. 6 is 12 plus negative 9. 7 is 17 minus 12. 8 is negative 54 plus 13. Okay, and if you notice, I don't have really any work here. It's in your head arithmetic, mental math, or it's the calculator, so there's no steps here. I'm the teacher, so I'm always gonna write more. That's my job. Okay, multiplication. A positive times a positive is a positive. A positive times a negative is a negative, and obviously we're referring to values here. A negative times a negative is a positive, and a negative times a positive is a negative. Okay, your symbols for multiplication. It could be a dot, it could be that little teeny tiny X, or it could be the grouping symbol, the parenthesis, right? Okay, so here we go, examples. 5 times negative 6, right? So what is the product? Well, 5 times 6 is 30. I got a positive, I have a negative, so it's negative 30, right? And again, the calculator, there's never any shame in using the calculator. 5 parenthesis negative 6 parenthesis equal, there's my negative 30. Remember, this is your negative symbol, this is your subtraction symbol, okay? All right, negative 8 times negative 3, negative times a negative is a positive, 8 times 3 is 24. Negative 11 times positive 9 is negative 99, because a negative times a positive is a negative, right? All right, 4 dot, right, still times, negative 3 is negative 12. 4 times 6 is 24. Negative 1 times positive 12 is negative 12, right? So just kind of writing the variant ways that you would see it. Okay, so here's question 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you're going to complete these 4 problems. So find the product. I just realized it doesn't tell you find the product. Okay, so you're going to do those 4. Okay, and then lastly, the last operation that you know so well, quotients, division. All right, so find the quotient is what it should say here. I got ahead of myself. All right, here we go. Okay, so division. So fraction bar, right? A positive divided by a positive is a positive. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. I don't know why I thought that was a fraction bar for a second. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay. All right, remember, for a fraction, top is numerator, bottom is denominator. Many calculator errors. I get so many errors in regards to division and fractions because we're going to cover trig, we're going to cover similarity. This semester has so many fractions built into the semester that, oh my goodness, a ton of errors. So just slow it down. Okay. Top divided by bottom is how you enter it into the calculator. So, for instance, if I have negative 3 divided by 6, right, the way you put it in the calculator is the way you see it. So this is why this calculator is amazing. I have a fraction bar there. This is the fraction button right here. That's your fraction button. You're going to use this all year. Especially this semester, you're going to use it. Know it, okay? You're going to use it next semester too. Okay, you hit that fraction button, and now look, it's set up as a little fraction. Too cute. So now you're going to input the numerator, negative 3. You're going to input the denominator, 6. So negative 3. Now there's my numerator. How do I activate the denominator, right? That bottom one. You're going to click down here. So I'm going to click down, and so I'm going to type in positive 6, or just 6, so there's 6. All right, and so here you go, negative 3, 6, right? Oh, where's my answer? Right here, negative 1/2, and so I get negative 1/2. Okay, now for those of you that say, I don't want to use the fraction button, can I just, use my phone and just type in -3 division symbol 6, right? So -3 division 6, that's what I got. So I'll clear it again and show you. -3 division 6, that's what probably most of you know. Divide, and there's your -1/2. So you get the exact same number. I get many students that input fractions incorrectly into the calculator. So you'll get the exact same answer, okay? So that's your quotient, that's your answer. Okay, so now you're gonna complete these 4 problems, find the quotient. 10 divided by -2, 13 divided by -1, -20 divided by -5, 26 divided by -2. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna turn this off because it ended up being close to 16 minutes. Okay, goodbye.